All right, let's learn a classic standard called Take the A Train. Again, I'm going to sort of give you the elements, the important elements, and then from there, I hope that you will go ahead and study them a little bit and play the tune. All right, let's start with the chords first. It says a C chord here, but let's use a C6 as well. The C6 is spelled 1, 6, 3 there on the third string, and then the fifth on top, right? You're thinking, the C scale underneath, that's the key we're in. And then we go to a D7 with a flat 5, and that flat 5 is essential. That's the train sound. So it is just a D7 with a flat 5. And then to the D minor, to the G7, if we want to play a big G7. As we go on, we may do some abbreviations. And then here is a C major 7. Now, when we take, we know we're in the key of C, but if we back cycle, and which is sort of like a deceptive resolution to the C. In other words, we don't go to the C. When we get to the G7, we back cycle. In this case, let's use an E minor down from the 3, E minor to E diminished, D minor to D diminished, and then we're back to the beginning. D minor. You see that little C7 there with the bracket? That's basically saying it's a good idea. So if you play the C7 leading to the F, which is F major 7, and then the secondary dominant of D7, you could play a D9 or D13. And so this D7 is on its way to the G7 to resolve there, but in between we have a D minor. And we're back at the beginning, right? Okay, you get the idea with the chords, I think. Now I'm going to take you through the melody one step at a time. It's not terribly difficult. It's got a lovely little line in it that's worth learning, getting underneath your fingers. We begin with just a triad, like a second inversion C major triad. And there's that flat 5. So we hear the triad. And there's our flat 5. It's right in the melody, so you don't want to mess around and just play a D7. You've got to get that melody note in there. And then we have the A, or here. And here's that cool little line. And as you'll see, it's played over a 7th chord, starting on the 9, going to the 13, root, back to the flat 7, and then falling to the resolution of the C, right? Great little line. You can use it on any 7th chord, keeping in mind that you're playing a 9th to the 3, to the 13, flat 7, resolution. Okay, and then the next section, F major 7. And the reason we use this F major 7 is because the entire melody is in that F7, right? Okay, so you can see that. I'll do that again. Then we change to the D7 chord and we keep the same line, except we do the F sharp because it's in the D7 chord. And then to the flat 9, which is right here, flat 9. There's our G7 with a flat 9. And then we're back to our triad. Okay, usually this tune is played sort of up. That kind of idea, right? And but you don't have to play it up. Play it, don't try to go up fast. Just take your time and learn the tune. Building a repertoire of tunes like this means that you're going to spend a lot of time with each tune if you want to play in this style. There's no way around that. I go through If this were integrated into my repertoire, I would go through the tune, I don't know, at least 50 times, 40 or 50 times. And I'd look at the chords and I'd figure out how to solo over it and so on. So since I've just mentioned the word solo, so we can, I would just always stick to the chords. D7. You get the idea. What I strive to do is, and you should strive to do, is identify not only the melody but the chords at the same time. Nail the chords as much as you possibly can. Obviously, the defining note in the flat 5 is that flat 5 and the 7. And so I make sure I get to that flat 5. If we're playing a D minor, there's my minor 3rd telling me it's a minor chord. There's my flat 7. There's my G7 with the 3 and the flat 7. And so on, right? Take each chord, isolate each chord, and play lines over the chord. If you're finding that your soloing starts to sound like a bunch of scales, it's really a good idea to just start with the simple triads, right? You can hear those simple triads there. So that's the way to break down scales, and I invite you to do that. So that's take the A train and work your way through that. Memorize the chord progression. It's not a difficult one. And maybe you'll learn one or two new chords. That D7 with a flat 5 is great. You can also do that D7 with a flat 5 up here. Right, it's just a D7 with the lowered 5. That's why it's important to know where the chords that you're playing come from. What is the scale that's underneath the chord I'm playing? Because then you can start to alter those chords and play chordal alterations. Okay, that's it for today. That's Take the A Train by the great Duke Ellington and I think Billy Strayhorn. Okay, thanks a lot. See you soon.